Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video we'll be looking at a dual type Mega Gardevoir EX. So it's Mega Gardevoir EX from the Steam Siege. It's a pretty decent card. It's also dual type. It's a Fairy and a Psychic, which means that it can counter two very popular decks in future format. It can counter Giratina, any kind of Giratina deck, which is very important, and it can counter Mega Mewtwo, which is also very important. Probably some of you will say, well, Giratina EX, it has that ability, it can basically lock those Mega Evolutions. Yes, that's true, but basically you can basically shut down Giratina ability with the Hex Maniac, so you can one-hit knockout with your Mega Gardevoir Giratina EX, which is very important. And the most important thing, you can also attack with your Luminous Blade Gardevoir EX, just in case you play a match against Giratina, and yeah, pretty much one-hit knockout for like 240 because Giratina is weak, so that's very important. On the other side, also, Xerneas Break is a backup attacker who can hit for like 200 in theory maximum because I'm running only 10 energies. And of course, I'm also running 2 copies of Geomancy Xerneas who can actually, in the early game, accelerate my Gardevoirs on the bench. And the most important thing, I'm also running 2 copies of the Klefki with the Wonderlock, just in case I play against Mega Evolution decks. The Klefkis can buy me a turn basically with that Wonderlock. And of course I decided to run 2 copies of Shaman for the setup and 1 King Hoopa for that Scandering, so I can basically set up turn 1, but even later. And of course Hoopa is very good because I can recycle it back with my Super Road and pretty much have more damage that can be increased with my Mega Gardevoir, so it really makes sense. I decided to build this deck as a disruptive version because you cannot hit for tons of damage. That's the biggest concern. And if you cannot hit for tons of damage, you need to have some support option. So I think that Crushing Hammers, Enhanced Hammers, and Delinquent Play are definitely the best options that you can actually run, just because you need to have them basically. So running 4 copies of Crushing Hammer, flip a coin if heads, discard any energy from your opponent Pokemon in play. Enhanced Hammer, just scrap one of the special energies from any Pokemon your opponent have in play. Very strong, especially against Giratinas. So I guess Giratina will not probably be even able to attack if you can actually hit those heads and enhance hammers. Escape Probe ×1, always good to have, you never know when you need it. Mega Turbo, only a single as a tech. Since Mega Gardevoir requires only 2 energies, 1 Mega Turbo I think it's more than enough. 1 copy of Super Road, 4 Trainer's Mails, 4 Ultra Balls, 4 VE Seeker, no need to talk too much about it. From supporter cards, of course, 1 Delinquent. It's a disruptive deck, Delinquent must be in this build. 1 copy of Hex Maniac, of course, disruptive deck. You need to have Hex Maniac, the most important against Greninja Breaks and the most important against Giratina EX. Single Lysander for Lysandering anything on my opponent bench. Well, there is 2 copies of N. As you can see, I'm also running Rangers, so I can pretty much respond on that Glacian EX lock in case it happens. Professor Sycamore 4 times. 3 copies of Fairy Garden, so I can have Free Retreat and also try to win the Stadium War against my opponent. 3 copies of Spirit Link and 10 Fairy energies in total. As usual, if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on CCGCastle.com by typing TCG Center 5 code. If you decide to buy something, you can also get 5% discount on your purchase, so definitely keep that in mind. So once you're able actually to see the deck list, let's do some game tests so you can actually see the deck in the action. So see you in the game. Alright guys, let's do this. So I will call the heads, hopefully to start first, but unluckily there is a tails, meaning that I'm going secondly. So on the other side, it's probably some kind of darkness deck. I will assume that, seeing that Darkrai sleeves. So 1 extra card from my opponent since there is no basic Pokemon. And there we go, there's a pretty good start. There's Gardevoir. I also have Escape Rope, which means that I can escape down to my Xerneas. Oh, Shaman EX on the other side. Very interesting. So the game plan is to search my deck, of course, for Xerneas, attach energy on it, Escape Rope it, then basically Shaman for some extra resources, Sycamore tries to get as fast as I can Mega Gardevoir in play. There's Yveltal with the energy, Shaman for 2. Alright. I really love to see those Shamans in play just because I can grab 2 prizes against them. There's another Gardevoir, definitely going to bench that down, so I'm going to play Ultra Ball for Sycamore and a Trainer's Mail, just because after I actually grab that Xerneas and play Escape Probe and the energy I can set up for 6, which is remarkable. But the only problem is that I'm going to give my opponent opportunity to actually promote that Yveltal in the active position. So that's only a bad thing right here. He actually had that Darkness Energy in his discard pile. That means that he can go for Oblivion Wing and Energy Attachment. But I can try to disrupt a little bit here with the Crushing Hammer. There we go. Alright. So, there's a Deliquent, but no Stadium in play. And there is also another Crushing Hammer and a Ultra Ball. So that means that I'm not going to take any of these cards. Actually, I'm going to take none of these cards. Yeah, I will actually play that Sycamore for 7 and basically take a risk right here by getting that surprise from pretty much Starly Megaphone, but hopefully that's not going to happen. So 2 energies to be attached on my Gardevoirs, and I'm more than happy with that, with this turn. I still have like an Enhanced Hammer and 3 Crushing Hammers, which will definitely help me. As long as I can keep my opponent without energies in play, I can definitely take good advantage with that. But at least that Yveltal is definitely going to be a problem. So 2 energy switch discarded, which is very good. There's, I think that was Giratina, but I'm not 100% sure. I was not able to see that. Yes, it is Giratina. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a double Dragon energy, which means only one thing, that I'm looking forward to Ultra Ball my NNA Hex, and basically I will Ultra Ball for my Mega Gardevoir. But the problem right here could be basically that Giratina. Because I cannot attack Giratina without Hex Maniac, which means only one thing. And you can imagine that I need to have Hex Maniac ready. So a lot of energy is already in play. I'm going with my Sycamore for 7, hopefully to hit that Enhanced Hammer just to surprise my opponent a little bit more. Maybe even for that Xerneas break. There we go. There's a Klefki and a Trainer's Mail. So first I'm going with that Trainer's Mail. Oh, look at the top deck. It's a Enhanced Hammer, which means good night to energy on the bench. Ultra Ball. I guess for 1 energy and for Sycamore for that Xerneas break. I don't need to worry too much about Giratina because I have that Xerneas break in play, so at least that's a pretty decent card. Do I want to attach a few more energies in play? Well, I guess I want. Onto my Shaman for sure, just because I want the Sky Return, and onto my Gardevoir EX, just in case he somehow managed to knock out my Xerneas break. I want to have that Gardevoir EX ready because he's not Mega, so I can actually counter that Giratina. So but yeah, pretty decent start right here. I can tell you that. I had pretty damn lucky right here, so I was able to set up pretty good. There's another double Dragon Energy, but I do have another Crushing Hammer. If I can hit Crushing Hammer heads, I'm 90% sure this might be a GG right here for my opponent. So he decided to scrap my Stadium for that Pearl City. I'm very low on the energy resource. I have like 6, 7, 8 energies already in play, which is very big amount of the energy cards, to be honest. And there's a Max Elixir, so he might be even able right here somehow to charge that Giratina. No energy again. There is nice top deck and the Crushing Hammer, and unfortunately Tails. This time I'm going to play my Sycamore. I'm on very low resource after that Sycamore, so there's a Delinquent for the next turn. There's also Xerneas, but I'm not going to play pretty much any of these cards, just a Crushing Hammer to try to get heads. There we go, it's a heads, which means that I can live stream and basically one hit knock on my opponent Yveltal for 160, which means that he's definitely in very bad position. So basically, you can see the power of the crushing hammers and enhanced hammers. I still have, I think, one more crushing hammer, which means that I can somehow discard that double dragon energy from that Giratina. So far, I didn't take a single damage, and I can one-hit knock out his Shaman for 2 prizes. I can even try to maybe find that Lysander and get 2 more prizes by knocking out that Giratina, which would probably be the GG. So yeah, definitely good position right here. So my turn, which means that I can even Delinquent. And I guess I can Delinquent for sure, because I can get rid of the Pearl City from play, plus I can also force him to discard a few resources, but also I can thin one more card from my hand, which is very important. Since I don't want to attach, since I don't know if I can attach some energies, I'm just going with my live stream. I still have like a 1 energy in my deck, but I can expect something like probably N down to 1 card, so I might be in trouble, but since I already have Mega Gardevoir, Xerneas Break, and a Gardevoir on the bench, I'm more than happy with that, and I have pretty good chance to win this. So there we go, there's a Trainer's Mail for the N, which means that I can go easily down to 3 cards, and I have tons of good cards to draw. I also have one more Sycamore left. I do have that Shaman, also Ultra Ball can work, and the V-Seeker, of course. So even if he can draw, even if he was able to Lysander my Mega Gardevoir, I could just pretty much knock him out with my a Hex Maniac. So there is 1 energy attachment on that Darkrai, and there's another Crushing Hammer for a good day. Unfortunately, Tails. If there was a Heads, I guess that would be pretty much GG for my opponent. Since Giratina is weak, I'm just going with my live stream right here for the knockout. And for the next turn, I really need that Lysander so I can knock out Shaman. I think my Lysander is priced. So there's another Mega Gardevoir and there's a N. Alright, so I didn't want actually to play my V-Seeker right here for any of my supporter cards. I'm more than fine right here, so there's a Super Road with a Trainer's Mail, but yeah, I'm pretty much down to 1 prize. My opponent is without almost attacker and energies in play. So all I really need is basically live stream, and next turn finish the game with the Mega Gardevoir attack, and that's pretty much it. I can even retreat and maybe try to Sky Return, but I guess the Lysander is the only card that I need at this moment, so cannot complain too much. And there we go. There's a N down to 1 card. And which card I'm going to draw? Mega Gardevoir. Alright, but of course I'm not going to play Mega Gardevoir so far. The good thing is that I also have resistance -20 on the darkness, which means that I can easily... no, there's a Yveltal. So I can easily reduce the damage for 20. So I'm going to take 70 minus 20, 50. Okay, sounds good. Another Klefki as a top deck. I think it's a time to use that Wonderlock and attach it onto my active Xerneas, just in case if somehow Lysander or something happen. So there's a live stream for a 160. And I just need 1 more single shot to knock out his Darkrai. I can expect maybe to see a retreat and maybe a Baby Yveltal in the active spot, but probably that's going to be it. So there's another V-Seeker for Sycamore this time. As you can see, my opponent is also on very low resources. He's down to 12 cards, but I got tons of luck actually by those hammers. Alright. So there is a Sycamore for 7, and he is down to 5, but it's pretty much it. So there's one more energy attached to the Evil Tall. There's a Dark Pulse for 50, and it's a GG. So let's go with that live stream one more time and win the game. So basically, I won the game without even attacking with a single Mega Gardevoir. But that Xerneas break was definitely very, very good backup attacker. Alright guys, so the rematch is underway. So this time I'm starting first. So let's take a look at the opening hand. So near identical, I can say. There's a Gardevoir and Delinquent, a Trainer's Mail in my hand, and energy card. So on the other side, it's a Trubbish. So there's a Xerneas. Let's see if I can get maybe... Oh, I can get Spirit Link, which is decent. So I can actually evolve next turn without losing the turn. So I'm going with my N for 6 cards. There is a Trainer's Mail, Mega Turbo, Hex Maniac, and Fairy Garden, which is a pretty good card. So I can actually free retreat. Do I want to play Trainer's Mail in this turn? No, because if I even get Trainer's Mail and something like Ultra Ball, what should I discard? I mean, I could go with my Hex Maniac and a energy card to try to set up for more cards, but then I have more risk actually to get something like a Lysander or Escape Rope, and I just don't want to do that. Oh, very bad card, already discarded. 2 Double Dragon Energy discarded, but special charge is here, so you don't need to worry if you discard 2 Double Dragon Energies. So for the next turn, I guess I can Trainer's Mail, maybe try to find that Ultra Ball, so I can Ultra Ball for Hex and Energy for the Mega Turbo and my Mega Gardevoir. Of course, Ultra Ball maybe even for Hoopa. And start to apply pressure in the early stage with my Mega Gardevoir. Or, on the other side, I can go with my Xerneas Geomancy. Still not sure, but as long as he can put one more Shaman on the bench, probably I will start to apply my pressure with Gardevoir. So there's another Darkrai and a Fighting Fury Belt, and energy actually attached to the Giratina, which is kind of interesting. So let's try to see what we can get with that Trainer's Mail. Just a Super Rose. But I guess that will not work, so that means only one thing. I don't have energies in my discard pile. I don't want to basically use that Hex Maniac. I know that he's probably going to promote that Giratina in the active spot sooner or later, so next turn I'm going to knock out that Trubbish and actually expect to see that Giratina in the active spot, so I will just Hex Maniac. Of course, attach energy onto my Xerneas so I can have a resource ready to counter with my Xerneas break. So 3 V-Seekers and Lysander already discarded. Very bad draw right here for my opponent, but at least there's a Flowstone for the Trubbish, which means that if he can find that Gardevoir, he can actually shut down my abilities, so basically my Shamans will be worthless. But at least they can be good to increase the damage that I can do with my Mega Gardevoir by discarding them. So there's Ultra Ball, and I can see probably the Gardevoir right here. Very interesting that he didn't decide to go with a baby Yveltal and maybe maybe Oblivion Ring for few energies. Alright, so there is a Shaman just discarded, and I managed to top deck Shaman, which means that I cannot anymore retreat for free, which is very, very bad. But what I can do is definitely retreat and hit for 110. But since I'm also Psychic type, I'm going to knock out his Gardevoir. But at least I can play my Shaman next turn, which is very important. Alright, so there's a V-Seeker, which means that I can even grab for the next turn another Hex Maniac if I need. So right now I'm going to see a Chaos Wheel. And there's a Fighting Fury Belt, and pretty much that's it. So I'm more than happy to see that Fighting Fury Belt, but I can still one-hit knock out that Giratina. So first, of course, I'm going to play my Shaman for 2 cards. Of course, I want to set up. Of course, I want to get some energies for my Xerneas, maybe even Ultra Ball. Crushing Hammer, no need. So 110. Kaboom, Hex Maniac. Desperate, and I'm going to discard my Shaman, so I can actually later put it back with the Super Road into my deck, so I can basically set up again. But yeah, I'm more than happy. If he even find a way to attach energy, I can just Crushing Hammer, but there is no energy, which means that I am still in very good position. And basically I can play down my Xerneas. Alright, so there's a Super Road, and pretty much my turn, which means that right now I can play actually my... I can maybe even go with my Mega Gardevoir right here, but probably I don't want to do that. I could try to help a little bit my opponent by playing N right here. I mean, it's near GG, but let's play N to give him a little chance maybe to do something right here. So there's a Klefki for my bench, and I'm going with my Desperate for 110 only. Actually for 90, since it actually have resistance. Alright, another Trubbish on the bench, sitting and ready to be knocked out. So there's a Max Elixir for maybe 1 energy in theory on that Darkrai on the bench. Alright, so definitely I'm going to play my Max Elixir right here, Mega Turbo onto my active Mega Gardevoir, just because I want somehow to have as many energies as I can in play, just in case I manage to drop that, maybe even a Xerneas Break, so I can even attack with it. So there's a Float Stone. Alright, I didn't expect to see Float Stone, so this is going to be 90 damage, maybe even a knockout right here. If it's going to be a knockout, if it's definitely going to be a big turnover for my opponent, I can tell you that. So this is a 110, which is 90 damage, not enough for the knockout. Luckily I have that resistance. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 110, minus 20, 90, which means that I have 10 HP left, so whew, I somehow survived. Luckily I have that resistance. There's a Trainer's Mail, and it's another Spirit Link, so that's the only thing that can work at this situation. Let's go with that Mega Turbo, Mega Energy, Sycamore for 7, of course. It's time to attach some energies. It's time to play Crushing Hammer and maybe even to try find another one. So there we go. There's a Heads. Let's see what I can get with another Trainer's Mail. Maybe one more Crushing Hammer. Nope, but there is Fairy Garden. I'm definitely going to take that. At least I have another Mega Gardevoir for the next turn. For this turn, I need to hit for tons of damage. But I think I will just hit for 90. Or maybe even for 100 by discarding that Klefki. I guess I'm going to discard Klefki so I can hit for 100. Unfortunately, I'm short for 1 energy, so I can retreat and hit with the fresh Mega Gardevoir on my bench. But I'm still in pretty good shape. I have option to knock out his Darkrai next turn by actually discarding both of my Xerneas on the bench, so I can hit for 20 more damage. I also have that Sycamore sitting and ready in my hand, so there's a energy switch, which means that he is definitely going to move 1 energy on the Darkrai EX. But I still have, like, how many? 3 Crushing Hammers, so there's a big N, which means that I'm going down to 3 cards. But he's only to 4 cards left, so there's even Ultra Ball and Sycamore, so I guess I will just try to find something with my Ultra Ball and basically a Sycamore for 7. So how many stadiums I have? 2, 1 more left, so there's Trainer's Mail for another N. Definitely I'm going to take a knockout right here with that Dark Pulse. So 2 more prizes for my opponent. He's down to 4, I'm down to 3, but after this turn I'm going to be down to a 1. Alright, so another Ultra Ball. So Ultra Ball for the Ultra Ball. Let's grab Hoopa. Let's set up for a few more Pokemons on the bench. And pretty much let's discard them. To be honest, I'm looking forward just to discard Hoopa and Shaman so I can add exactly 20 more damage that I really need to knock out my opponent Darkrai. But I'm also looking for those Crushing Hammers. I was not able to find them. So Sycamore for 7 all night long. Alright, so I have Lysander in my hand, which means that probably that Lysander is going to give me a victory. And that Crushing Hammer was also very big right here, so there's a Desperate Ray. So I'm going to discard as many Pokemons from my bench as I can. So Xerneas, Hoopa, and a Shaman, exactly for 120. In order to drop 2 more prizes, another Crushing Hammer and a Fairy Energy. So he's forced to come in the active spot with his Darkrai if he wants actually to attack my Mega Gardevoir, but there is no need. He cannot pretty much do anything. I do have enough energies to actually retreat. I also have that Fairy Garden in the active spot. Only problem might be if he can counter my Stadium. There's a Escape Rope, so I'm going to promote my Gardevoir into the active. Didn't expect that, but as long as I have Stadium, I don't need to worry too much. So there is a Gardevoir and a Giratina. I have that Crushing Hammer, so I'm more than happy to see that. But I can even end my opponent. Oh, there's a Shaman for 2, which means that this is a GG, I guess. I mean, he can play N and N himself, but again, he's going to drop those 4 cards, so pretty much another victory right here. So yeah, I was able to draw 2-0 against my friend right here, basically with my Mega Gardevoir deck. So I also have 2 V-Seekers right here, which means that I can even Sycamore for 7 and pretty much drop that last prize by knocking out his Gardevoir, Darkrai in the active spot. But first I need to find energy card to retreat, so there's another Klefki. And there we go with the free retreat onto a Mega Gardevoir, and of course Desperate Ray to discard all 3 Pokemon from the bench and take last prize. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching this Mega Gardevoir dual type with Crushing Hammers. I call this a interactive Mega Gardevoir deck, so it was definitely very enjoyable to play with it. Very big shout out to my friend who actually played with me. Thanks a lot, mate. Looking forward to play more matches with you because you definitely have pretty good decks to play with you and against you. So yeah, 2-0. I had a lot of luck, to be honest. This deck is good, but probably will not be that good in real life. I mean, it's pretty decent. It's built to be very strong, but trust me, against Eviltal Darkrai and Giratina EX, you can have tons of problems if you cannot find pretty much your Xerneas break. If you cannot be able to at least have another Gardevoir with 3 energies on your bench, because definitely sometimes you might not be able to get that Hex Maniac to shut down the Giratina EX ability. So that's the reason why actually Xerneas Break is a very good backup attacker, and also that Luminous Blade will be enough to knock out that Giratina for 240. Even with Fighting Fury Belt. But again, those Crushing Hammers and Enhanced Hammers, same as the Delinquent, will definitely disrupt your opponent's hand and energies and field, so you can definitely be able to set up and also do a lot of damage. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the like button, of course, if you like this video. Help me to get at least 100 likes, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, which is the most important thing if you already didn't. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave comments below, and until the next time, have a nice day and good